Today we're going to be making a line patterned handprint with an emphasis on the hand and contrasting between black and white and a colored background. So in order to do this project, what you're going to need is one sheet of blank computer paper. You are going to need a black Sharpie or washable marker. You can also use colored markers to color in the background of your lines. If you do not have colored markers, you can use colored pencils or crayons, but colored markers show up much brighter, and also they're a little bit quicker to use to create all your lines. So I highly recommend using markers, but if you don't have them, it's okay. You're also going to need some sort of plastic or styrofoam cup to create the different sections where we're going to put our patterns, and I'm going to show you that very soon. So in order to get started, what we're going to do is you're going to lay down your piece of paper in portrait orientation meaning that it is laying down tall, not wide and fat. Okay, so make sure that you have your paper laying down in portrait orientation, long and tall. Then the next step you're going to do is you're going to take your hand, you're going to lay it down, leaving some space from the top edge and leaving some space for your wrist to end at the bottom of the page. Then you're going to take your black marker and you are going to trace the outside of your hand. Now, a tip with tracing always is a little bit better if you keep your marker nice and vertically straight, not slanted. If you go slanted, your fingers might turn really skinny. So try to keep that marker perfectly vertically straight and line up the marker's edge right at the edge of your wrist or hand to start off. Go slowly and have your marker tip barely graze the side of your hand and fingers. Remember, going slowly is going to allow you to get a better, more accurate shape of your hand. So as you're going around, go slowly, having the felt tip against your skin, but also having your marker stand vertically, straight up and down, not slanted. Once you've gone around, the traced outline should look like your hand. If it looks all different and weird and you have skinny fingers, you can get another piece of paper and try again. But if you've done it slowly with your marker straight up and down, it should look like this. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to trace out some circles using the outer rim of our cup, overlapping the circles on our fingers and also overlapping some circles around our page in order to have different sections going around our page. So you're going to take your cup, you're going to lay it down anywhere on your piece of paper, take your marker and trace fully all around your cup. Okay, it's okay if it's overlapping. In fact, you want it to overlap, so you can shift it down a little bit. It's okay if your circle also goes off your page. As long as you have something underneath so your marker won't get marker on your table, you're fine. So you want to trace, again, around your cup, shift it to a new location. It's good if it overlaps other circles and part of your traced out hand. Trace it out. And you're going to do that all around your paper, okay? Look for any blank empty spaces. Those are the best spaces to kind of overlap a circle and trace it out. Again, it can go off the page as long as you have something underneath your paper so that you don't get marker on your table. So we're going to go around, find any empty space, kind of overlap. The one thing you want to make sure is that you don't put too many circles so that all you have are these very small sections. You still want kind of a larger section to fill in. So I would say you don't want to do more than, say, 12 traced out circles. That should probably be the limit of how many you should trace out. Okay, so once I have kind of my circles traced out so that it looks like every area has some circles, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on just using my black marker and some white empty negative space in between to create the different sort of lines. So I want to make sure that I'm filling in only the sections that are in my handprint. So in order for me to remember not to fill in any of the outer ones with my black marker, I'm going to take my black marker and I'm just going to go over my handprint again, making the line, the outline of my hand, much thicker. Okay, so go around the outer handprint that you traced with a much thicker line so that you can really see the outline of your hands stick out. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we are going to start filling in each one of these small enclosed shapes with different types of lines. So we can first start out with doing some lines that I know you guys know about. I have them listed over here. So let's find a section and do some vertical lines. And what I'm trying to do is keep it in the enclosed shape. So we're going to pretend like these lines are like walls in a room. And your lines, when you're drawing them, cannot go outside these lines of the room. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to do some vertical lines in this enclosed shape, not getting out of these lines. So I'm going to start off making some vertical lines, starting from one of the lines and ending at the other one, wherever that shape is closed. So again, I'm starting where the shape starts, ending where it closes. And I'm going along. Notice how I'm not going beyond this enclosed shape. I'm keeping my lines inside. And I'm just going to fill the rest of the shape with these lines, even the little smaller parts. Great. So now that I've filled this sort of enclosed shape section, I get to pick a new one. Maybe I'll pick this one right here. And I'm going to do, let's say, some horizontal shapes or horizontal lines going across. But I might also choose to make them different from these ones by making them much thicker. So staying in this enclosed shape, I'm going to start making my horizontal lines, but I'm going to make them thicker. So a way that I can do that is I can draw a horizontal line, but then draw a parallel line above it and fill in between those two lines. So again, parallel means that your lines are going in the same direction at the same time. So you can make two parallel lines and then fill in the space in between them to make them really thick lines. And I'm going to finish up filling in this space, only staying in the enclosed shape. And there, I've filled in that enclosed shape with horizontal lines. The next line that I want to do is diagonal. So I'm going to pick a different space. Let's say I only want to have them go in this enclosed space. And this time I'm going to do very thin lines. So I can take the tip of my marker and I'm going to do my diagonal lines, but I'm not going to press very hard. I'm going to keep the tip of the marker barely pressing down to make much thinner diagonal lines. Nice. The next one that I can do are wavy lines. I love making wavy lines. Maybe I'll put my wavy lines in this section. So I'm going to, again, kind of start from the one side of the shape, make my wavy line here, and then I might want to thicken it up by making a parallel wavy line right next to it and filling in the inside to thicken it up. And then I'm just going to fill in the rest of the shape with parallel wavy lines, skipping a space in between to show the white, and then filling in my wavy lines within the other sides of the enclosed shapes. So there we go. I filled in my enclosed shape with wavy lines. The next one I'm going to do is zigzag. So I can find some enclosed space within my hand to do zigzags. I'm going to do it right here. So maybe this time I want to make my zigzags go diagonally, because we can do that. So I'm going to make my zigzag lines. I'm going to make them parallel, meaning they're going in the same direction at the same time, filling in that enclosed space, that little section, staying within that section, not going on the outside of my little hand shape. Okay, so now I've done my zigzag lines. Ooh, I get to do a spiral line. If you have never done a spiral line before, they're really fun. So I'm going to do it in this section. All a spiral line is you do a curved line, but then you loop it back around and curve and loop and curve and loop and curve and loop. Nice. And you can fill in any of the extra white space with the spiral lines. Now that we've done that, there's some more lines that we can do. Another one that we can do are curved lines. Curved lines simply are lines that are not straight, they're just curved. So I'll pick this section right here. I may make these really thick curved lines. So I'm going to start from one end and curve to the other end, thickening them up. Curve, curve, curve. Nice. Even a little one right there. Nice. Okay, another line I can do is scalloped lines. And what scallop lines are is a continuous curved line that curves down, stops, and then curves back up and around, stops, and curves back up and around, stops. Okay, so let's pick another section of my hand. Let's do this part to make a scalloped line. And I might turn my page to the side, that's fine. And just do those nice scallops. And keep filling in that space with scalloped lines, trying to keep them parallel. There we go. Okay, now that I have my scallop lines, I'm going to do a castle line. Castle lines are fun. Castle lines are a horizontal line across, a vertical line down, horizontal line across, vertical line up. Horizontal across, down, across, up. Cross, down, across, up. Okay, so let's find a nice space. I'm going to do castle lines in here. So I'm going to fill in that space with parallel castle lines, filling in the little section. Great. Okay, I can also make a dotted line or dotted lines. So I'll find another section. All a dotted line is a series of dots that are lined up to form a line. So you can just make dot, 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 dot going in a line, and that's a dotted line. Another line that we can rate is dashed lines. Dashed lines are similar, but this time dashed lines are just smaller lines or dashes with a little space in between going in a line. So maybe in this section I'll do some horizontal dashes, dash, 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 and you can just fill in the space with your dashed lines. It's okay if you don't have too much space. Nice. Okay. And then for the rest, I can kind of fill in with some other lines, kind of repeating them. So maybe I'll do some thin diagonal lines here, filling in that little section. Maybe I'll do some thin vertical lines here. Maybe I'll do some thick sort of zigzag lines here. And maybe I'll fill in some thick curved lines along this section. And here, maybe some thin horizontal lines. And you can just keep filling it in with any types of lines that you want, keeping the sections a little different. And then once you see that all of your little sections of where your hand is all filled in with the black and white lines, you are on to the second part, which is all of these different sections that we have traced out with our cups. We are instead going to create all the different types of lines in those different sections, but this time we are going to be doing them in different colors. So the same way that we did our hand by filling in the different sections with lines, on the outside of the hand, instead of using a black marker, you get to use different colors markers. And I recommend using 2 different colors for every section. That way, it's not just one color, it's very solid, but also it's not too many colors where it becomes kind of visually confusing. So maybe 2 colors making a certain type of line in each section. Okay. Once you've filled in each enclosed section in the background behind the hand, then you know that your project is complete. Okay. I can't wait to see these. Good luck.